make an F1 car in Serum. This came about as a uni project, and I actually wrote an essay on the whole process, so if you're interested, here it is. Let's talk about the oscillators first. I was trying to recreate a V6 engine, so I thought it was logical to put 6 voicings on there. I've actually used oscillator B as my main oscillator for this sound. Don't know why, just felt like it. I've got it set down an octave, up a perfect fifth, because a lot of supercars are tuned to a perfect fifth. So it's just a bit of knowledge that I thought might be relevant. And I've detuned it slightly. The actual wavetable is just a sine wave. And then in here, I've got it on bend minus and turned that all the way up to the top. Oscillator A is exactly the same. We'll zoom in on here. This one's down 2 octaves. It's not got any semitone changes, and it's detuned a little bit less than the other one. Same again, sine wave with the bend minus all the way up. You'll notice that oscillator A only has a single voice. I wanted something to sort of cut down the middle, give it a bit of grit that would complement the wider sound of oscillator B. I then messed about with the levels until it sounded about right to me. I'm not claiming this to be the most accurate sound ever, it's just a concept. I added a noise oscillator. I used alpha noise. I did experiment a bit with a drone for like a turbo sound. If you put it on SID drone, which is under analog, you can get a very different tone. So that's the oscillators. I added a filter. It's kind of pointless. It's not really doing much. You can cut more of the top off if you like. This LFO is going to control our gear changes and the rev count. I did a bit of research into the engine I was trying to replicate and the gear ratios and then approximate timings. You can just do this manually, guess your gear ratios, make a cool effect. I then assigned this LFO to the coarse pitch of oscillator A and oscillator B. You want to make sure it's unipolar, so it's only moving in one direction. We want it to be moving downwards, so the note hits at the top and slowly pitch bends down. Make sure that the LFO is on trigger mode and just play with the rate until you find a sound that you like. So it's important for those gear changes that these lines here are completely vertical and go down, because that's going to give you the punch as the car changes gear. The effects, I've got hyperdimension just to give it a bit of space. I've got distortion on tube. It's full dry wet and the mix is almost up to the top. I'm also automating it with this same LFO, just gives it a bit of crunch near the top of the rev. Flanger just likes the sounds, reverb the same, just gives it a bit of space. Once you've got your bass sounds, there's loads of variations you can do. One thing I like to do is assign this modulator to the coarse pitch, just like you would with the LFO, also to the pitch of the noise oscillator, to the distortion. That gives you a sort of accelerator wheel. As you bring this up, it sounds like the car's accelerating. Really good for automating in the project. I also quite like it an octave down. It sounds like this. And that's basically it. There's no post-processing on it. I'm sure you could make the sound way tighter and realistic if you did, but this was all just inside Serum. That's how you make car sounds.